So the Fast Tracks warehouse was developed for small and medium wholesalers who are looking for an alternative to their accounting system to efficiently manage their warehouse. It has the ability to do custom prices by customer, but the largest facility is the ability to efficiently pick. When an order comes in, instead of the picker just printing out a list, wandering around the warehouse trying to find the item, it will route them in the most efficient way possible based on the locations you set up. The handheld will actually tell them the next item to go pick. Wonderful time-saving device. So we'll start with our price book. So inside price book, on the top we have all of our general information, the item number, the description, size, weight. We have a product line. The product line is going to describe all the attributes for the item, such as what the cost is, what the price is, are there any add-ons, are there any exceptions for this? Within it, we have three costs. We have a last cost, a manufacturer list cost, as well as an average cost. When setting up an item, you can make the margins based off any of those costs, as well as the discounts be based off any of those costs. There's landing tax and default price available. So when we talk pricing in our warehouse, the default price would mean that the customer doesn't have any specialty pricing or additional taxation rules. When you're setting up a customer, you can define a price list for that customer or group of customers, and then whenever they order, their price would be based on the list, not the actual default price. These lists are as granular as product lines. You can say for these products, they get 3% off. For these products, they get 15% off. Moving on, we have up to 10 customizable categories, as well as 10 locations, including an overstock location. When you're adding an item, we also have templates. With a template, when you add an item, you can say, save this as a template, and whenever you're adding similar items, you can apply all the attributes of the previous items without recreating the wheel. At the bottom, we have the ability to integrate in with your website. We support all the websites that can handle webhooks, and that's through our API integration, and it is a two-way communication. So we can push products to the website and then pull orders down from your website. This is all configurable by you via the webhook API. Moving on in products, generally when you're making a price or cost change, it's not going to affect just one item, but a group of items. To facilitate this, we have mass updates. So by default, we can filter by our categories. And as you can see, as I'm filtering through my categories, the list is changing on the right. I can make a change at any of these levels. We can also filter by location, description, product line, as well as quantity on hand information. So once you filter down to the items you want to change, you can make price changes, cost changes, field updates, add items to discounts, add items to exceptions, all from right here. As you can see on the right side, you have quick access to pertinent information such as how many items are on hand, how many are on order, how many are on reserved, as well as sales history over the past 12 months, all at a glance without having to run subsequent reports. Our price lists allow you to set individual pricing for customers based on a markup or a discount. So to create a new price list, I would simply name it, and then I can go in at the product line level and tell it the deviation off the default price. For instance, for this customer in the cigarette product line, I would like to give them a discount. So I can choose percent discount and then entering that percent. In warehouse, our promotions allow you to temporarily reduce the price of an item. So to set up a promotion, you would give it a start date, a stop date, and a value. Once set up, you could then define which locations or location groups get it and then what tier they have to be to qualify. Our warehouse also supports cigarette stamping. So if you're a facility that stamps cigarettes, you can enter in the stamp information, choose what accounts get stamped, what products need to be stamped, and during the picking process, any item that needs to be stamped will automatically be queued for stamping. We also integrate in with StampRite and PickRite to facilitate and streamline that process. We realize that some items are available at some locations that aren't available at others. So for this, we created sale restrictions. Sale restrictions allow you to create a restriction and then allow certain stores to receive the item while other stores do not. So if a store is trying to purchase a restricted item, they'll be notified that the item's restricted and it'll be kicked off the order. In the warehouse, our inventory module consists of ordering, purchasing, physical counts, and adjustments. So let's take a look at orders. So an order is when a customer places an order into you. These can come manually, which means you're manually entering the order. They can come electronically via email or FTP, or they can be created with a handheld device. So we'll look at creating an order manually. To create an order manually, I will simply choose New Order, pick the warehouse it's coming from and the account that's placing the order, and then add each item that the customer would like to purchase. When entering the item, I'm able to see all the pertinent information, such as how many is on hand, how many is available, as well as what this customer's pricing is ultimately going to be based on the price list that live in, as well as any taxing information the customer has. So as items are added to the order, I'm able to see the grand total of not just the items, but also the dollars, as well as what's been invoiced in the case of a partial invoiced order. Moving through the process, you can see if the same item is added more than once. For quick entry, it lets me know that, hey, this is already there. What would I like to do? Update or add a new? Once the order is complete, it's ready to be picked. Just like with ordering, picking can be either manual or with a handheld device. After the order has been picked, it can be verified, which is an optional step to allow you a second verification of the items before they actually leave your inventory. In the order screen, I can quickly see the status of all of my open orders. Orders are going to work through the status of open, picked, verified, and then finally invoiced. Invoiced orders are ones that have physically left your inventory. Moving on to purchasing. Purchasing is when you are buying items for your warehouse. So to create a purchase, I can simply click Add New and then choose my order method. Order methods are almost like reports, so I can't tell you which one's going to work the best for you. However, I recommend trying all our algorithms. So the first one we're going to look at is going to be replenishment. So replenishment is just that. I want to reorder what I sold. So this is good for new items or items with a very limited sales history. Ones that you don't really know how well they're going to sell, you can just say, hey, whatever I ordered last week, I want to reorder. Days of inventory is one of my favorite methods. What this is going to do, it's going to actually take a look at what you have on hand and say, hey, if you want 10 days worth, you average selling 3 per day, I'm going to order you 30. But it's also going to see how many you have on hand. If you have 5 on hand, instead of ordering you 30, it's only going to order you 25. So all the orders can be scheduled, and once scheduled, you tell it the frequency you want it to run. If it's once a week, once a month, whatever, it's going to be waiting for you when you come in the office. No matter the order method, once the order's been generated, you're going to see the details of the order. At a glance, I can quickly see all relevant information, such as how many I have on hand, how many days left, what my monthly sales were, what my last 10 months sales were, as well as the detail analysis, which is available via item analysis here. Once you're satisfied with the quantities, at that point you can complete the order and electronically send it to the wholesaler or export it to PDF for email. Moving on to physical inventory counts. A physical count is when you count your products using our handheld scanner or manually. Once the counts are complete, they show up here in the inventory worksheet for final review before they're applied. Here I can see all the items that were part of the definition, whether or not they were counted, what any variance may be. Once I'm satisfied, I can choose to apply this count and my inventory will be adjusted. In our adjustments module, we allow you to adjust inventory. Here I would simply create a new adjustment, choose which items to be adjusted, and apply that adjustment. This is useful for breakage or non-inventory activities such as trade show, samples, etc. We have a pre-book module, also known as force outs, to allow you to push items to the store when they're new. For instance, if a new line of vape products comes out and you want to make sure every store in your chain has them, you can create a pre-book for those. To create a pre-book, I will simply add the pre-book, choose the products, and then which locations get those. Whenever the store orders, at that point, the pre-book items will either be automatically added to their existing order or a new spun off with just those pre-book items. So if you use your warehouse to manufacture products, we have a module for that. So in our manufacturer module, you have the ability to create an item based on other items. It's like building a recipe or a kit almost. So here I have green pipes, red pipes, purple pipes that are defined as other items. So I can say to build a green pipe, it is going to take me 2 of widget A and 3 of widget B. Combined together, I can manufacture those and make one green pipe. So whenever I manufacture a green pipe, it is going to reduce the quantity on hand of all the ingredients and then add a quantity of the item being manufactured. We realize that selling some items can come with complex tax strategies. For this, we created tax plans. Tax plans combine tax types, which are traditionally items, tax groups, which are usually locations. Within the plan, you define the type. It could be percentage, it could be flat, it could be size-based, it could even be tiered. What that means is little cigars may be taxed at X, while big cigars are taxed at Y. All those come together to build out the tax plan, which is then assigned to an account. So whenever the account places an order, the appropriate tax plan is applied. We also support landing tax. What this allows is your warehouse may reside in a jurisdiction that you have to pay taxes on when the item is landed or when you receive it. However, when you sell it to a customer in another jurisdiction, that tax needs to be backed out and then the appropriate tax applied. Our warehouse reports are quite robust. We have a litany of reports, including sales reports, inventory reports, list reports. For example, this is an item sales report. As you can see granular details such as the order, the invoice date, and the account it came from. We also have a custom BI reporting tool available. That wraps up our warehouse module. We appreciate you taking the time to look at our product. We'd love to hear more from you. Please reach out to us online and follow up.